Hi everybody, this is Tavi bringing you chapter 14 of my 4 Kings 100% Gross LTC. It's been a while, but it's time to save a turn over the old run again. This is a seeds map, meaning we need to get a boss killer and Walter up to the top left part of the map. However, there's also a one-tile wide choke point guarded by a door and a general, so we need 2 more units to get up there to handle those. This map is also full of goodies to snag and a recruitable unit, so we need to stay on our toes to get to everything of consequence in time. Much like the previous chapter, we have a mass promotion event. Locritus, Bradley, Lydia, and Wilson all promote here, and we give Ufin a guiding ring for later in the map. Locritus takes the Bowbreaker since he will be attacked by quite a few bow users on the map. Our first step is to drop Ufin on the other side of the narrow water corridor, and this requires Locritus and the Phantom. The reason we didn't promote Ufin in preps is that the Phantom would not be able to carry him. To get a 5 turn, we need to boost Locritus, who will be our general killer, Chase, aka our door opener, and Sean, our water dropper, forward by about 1 turn's movement. Chase takes the turn 1 boost with Locritus in his saddlebags and drops him pretty far forward. Lark can fly and take the shortest path to the throne area. The last few uses of sleep are useful to lock down the stealable stat boosters on this map. There are 3 of them on soldiers who only have 3 movement, no weapons, and crummy stats, who are all trying to escape to the left. They consist of an Angelic Robe, a Draco Shield, and a Speed Wings. We want to get all of them to dump on a unit who joins in chapter 16. This is definitely a map where Chase could have stood to use Thunder over Spark. Ufin gets the last scrap of EXP he needed to hit level 13, which caps his speed unpromoted. His bottleneck is to reach 23 speed as a promoted unit by chapter 19. These shortbow nomads are quite nasty, and we made sure to have their attacks split up or attack Locritus who has a bowbreaker. Shoutouts to Lark, by the way, for getting quadded by that nomad trooper and dodging like a champ. The Green Swordmaster is Candace. She herself only matters for one map, chapter 19, where she helps with the giant rescue chains. Her PRF, the Fleuret, is far more impactful. It grants White Pull, i.e. plus 5 attack and AS to adjacent allies. We will be using it to hit offensive benchmarks moving forward, and in fact we could have used it to make the boss kill on this map more reliable. Yufin's inventory is set up in a particular way to let him automatically equip Nosferatu as soon as he promotes. As a warlock, he gains D Dark and E Staves. We actually want to train his Dark rank up to C for our endgame strategy, and I could probably have paid it more attention instead of cutting it as close as I eventually do. Wilson honestly promoted just for the minor boost to his stats more than anything else. Like, the little bit of extra bulk and the extra offense he gets turns out to make the difference between having to do some kind of hell rig with him versus him just handling things pretty normally. Sean handed off Ava to Chase so she could be dropped in position to start stealing before he cantos into position for Larkratus to rescue him forward. This map is pretty good for Shelby's staff rank. Since he sticks close to Dorian, so any dances that aren't used to help with the main objective or one of the primary side objectives can easily be allocated to him. We want Bradley to leave that pirate alive to bait Candace over so she can be recruited by Walter, without Bradley then having to move backwards to pick him up. Even with 100% growths and all those defensive level ups, you can see how powerful Four Kings enemies are, doing almost 20 damage to promoted Ufin. Thankfully, Nosferatu tanking gives him basically infinite durability as long as his Nosferatu Dome lasts. It's a lucky crit there from Ava, letting her delete one of the nomads on enemy phase. I think I needed at least one of the two nomads to die. This is the opportunity where we could have traded the Fleurette over to Walter to use for the boss kill later in the map. Lydia could have just killed the Merc, but we don't need a one-use sleep for anything, so she just sets him up to be killed by Ava next turn. Candace runs off to visit the shop, which sells the silver grade tomes, Fimbleweather, Aura, and Fenrir. We just want an Aura tome for a unit who'll show up in the late game. The armory next door sells killer weapons, but the ones we get from units' starting inventories and item drops are enough to last us for the whole game. Lark drops Sean in that specific spot so he can enemy face that armor knight and receive Walter from Bradley next turn. Something that I think I forgot to mention earlier in the run is that Wormslayers in this hack, alongside their Wyvern effectiveness, also have a Reaver effect. This is the turn where we get past the one tile wide bottleneck. Lay is positioned precisely so that Shelby can hand Ava off to the Phantom with a take support give using his C support with her. This lets us drop Ava to the south so she can steal the final stat booster on the last turn. Ufin finishes setting up the 2-use Shine Tome for us for Chapter 17, and he hits S Light rank. The bishop boss on the throne has a silent staff which he will use on Chase, putting him out of commission for the next turn. Despite Lark having had 7 levels shoved down his throat before he promoted, he still gets 2-shot by these shamans, which is why we made sure to have Bradley bait one of them away. At least with the Bowbreaker Archers, their hit rate is trash enough that Larkatus doesn't seriously need to worry about them. With this level up, Ufin hits his stat benchmarks for Chapter 19. His next benchmark after that is to cap his offensive stats by endgame. Because we finish a turn earlier than the old run, we have to skip out on the bolting on the fleet to the left and the hero crest dropped by the hero on the leftmost boat. But thankfully, we don't need either of those for anything in this run. And mostly we just spend the last turn cleaning up everywhere and getting some more staff uses in. If we had traded the Fleurette over, we could have had Chase trade it to himself on this turn and give Shan, our boss killer, the white pool boost to cleanly kill this bishop. But oh well, reliability is a liability anyway. That is chapter 14 completed in 5 turns. I'll see you next time.